Good morning, guys. I'm in John chapter 21, and this is after Jesus was resurrected, and his disciples were still kind of waiting, wondering what is it that's next. And so in verse 3, it says that Simon Peter says, I'm going fishing. And so the others decided, we'll come too. And so they all went into the boat and they toiled all night and they caught nothing. Now, when it got close to the morning, at dawn, it says Jesus was walking on the beach and then he called out to them and he said, Fellas, have you caught any fish? And they were like, No. And so he turns to them and he says, Throw your net on the right side of the boat and you'll catch some. And they threw their nets out there on the right side and caught so much fish. And then one of the disciples turns like, Hey, it's Jesus. And so at that point now, Peter just put on his clothes and he jumped into the water and he came out. Now it's an interesting story. Here there were, Jesus was resurrected. I mean, the greatest event in Christian history had just occurred, and they'd seen the risen Christ. He'd spoken to them. He'd given them his peace. He said, Hey, you guys, it's okay. I know you guys were sad and upset because I died and you were wondering, so what next? But now it was all just to ensure that you guys were okay, that salvation was made available. Now, at this point, they're waiting and they're wondering, so, but while they're waiting, somehow or the other, I think they lost patience. It's like, this guy is resurrected and, I'm not seeing anything else happening. So let's go back fishing. And Peter was the one who says, Hey, let's go back fishing. He was, remember, one of the leaders. He was one of them that was very close to Jesus. And so the others followed. My thought to you today is be careful about the advice that you take. Not just because this person is in some kind of authoritative standing, or sometimes even the people that we think are spiritual leaders around us and they're supposed to know may not exactly know what it is that's applicable to your life and your situation at this point in time. And so they went back. My advice to you today, if you're sitting there contemplating, I'm not seeing what God said to me. He told me that I was going to get a new job. He told me that he was going to look after the situation. He told me X and Y and Z, but I'm not sure if I'm seeing that. Wait, don't go back. Because when you go back, then you entangle things. And it took them a while to be like, shoot, you know what? Afterwards, they were like, you know what? Yeah, this is not for us. He told us he was going to make us fishers of men. And then that came to pass. So I want to encourage you. You may not see it yet. You may be wondering, what next? Don't go back to your old pastimes. They decide, go back to what we used to before God. No. Even though you're not seeing what it is that you expect to see at this point in time, keep holding on to God's promise for your life. Keep holding on to what God said about you. You're the apple of his eye. You are special. There's an awesome destiny awaiting you if you just keep trusting him. Don't go back. Well, today's Friday. Have a fabulous day. And remember that God loves you and I do too. Be blessed.